Hello everyone. So today we'll be discussing question number 8 of UPSC Mains 2021 GS paper 2. So this question has so many, again, like if you try to see the core part of this question is about women SHGs. Then what they're asking is, can the vicious cycle of gender inequality, poverty and malnutrition be broken through microfinancing of women SHG? Explain with example. So here you don't need to talk about SHG per se. You have to talk about women SHG. So, and then what we have to do, how many headings we have to make, who is this, his name is YH Malegam. So there is a YH Malegam committee. He has given some recommendation. So we'll talk about that. But first of all, let's try to break this question. Let's try to see how we can frame this answer. So first of all, what you can do is, even though they're talking about women SHG in particular, I'm living at a place where beside me or behind me there is a temple and people are doing worshipping. And I have seen so many people, again, I will just come to the question, where for first 50 years of their life they will do all kind of sins, and for the next 50 years they're doing all kind of worshipping. Will that help? God knows. But again, let's come to the question. So what you can do, the intro part, and sometimes I've seen many students of mine, this write intro and then they write something. You don't need to write intro. You can just start with the definition of SHG. Even though they're talking about women SHG, start with the definition of SHG. First of all, this is an abbreviation. So write that SHG stands for self-help groups, and then tell what are self-help groups. So they are small voluntary association of people from similar socioeconomic background, right? And why they are coming together. They're coming together and they're working together for the purpose of solving their problems through self-help and mutual help. So this will be a, I think, okay kind of introduction. Then one thing which I think most of the people will not be writing and which you can write here, see, they're talking about how women SHG will break the cycle of gender inequality, poverty, and malnutrition. Vicious cycle. In the previous videos, when we're talking about other questions, we have talked about what is the difference between vicious cycle and virtuous cycle. Virtuous cycle has positive connotation, vicious cycle has negative connotation. So here, after writing that introduction, you can even talk about, or you can even make a flowchart kind of a thing, because you have only 2 pages to write, right? So different SDGs, you can just make like this, different SDGs talking about poverty, malnutrition, and gender inequality. Because what is happening, if women SHG are performing nicely, and if we are providing the microfinancing, it will help us in attaining also 3 SDGs. What are those 3 SDG? SDG 1, which talks about no poverty, SDG 2, which talks about no hunger. In a way, they're talking about malnutrition. And then SDG 5, which talks about gender equality. So you can talk about these points. And then again, they're not asking about these SDGs. So you have to come back to the question. So you can say microfinancing of women SHG is the core part here. So how even if you forget about women for a moment, how microfinancing of SHG is happening, which is a main program. That main program name is Bank-SHG Linkage Program, initiated by NABARD in early 90s, Bank-SHG Linkage Program. So this Bank-SHG linkage program, it started in early 90s and it has played a crucial role in providing financial support to SHG. Now you will make 2 headings. So let me show you some things. So Bank-SHG linkage program we have just discussed. SDG 1, 2 and 5, if you can write these points here, it will be awesome. Then we have to come to the actual part. So the first heading will be, although it looks like a very big heading, but if you're writing it in heading, it makes it easier for the examiner to check your copy. So ways by which microfinancing of women SHGs can break vicious cycle of gender inequality, poverty, and malnutrition. And then you can write some points. That first point, you can say that. Now here you have to address how, when you're providing money to women SHGs, how they're addressing these 3 issues. So you cannot just write anything and everything. You have to link it with how it is solving the issue of gender inequality, poverty, and malnutrition. So there is NFHS 4. NFHS 4 is National Family Health Survey 4. And according to their statistics, their data, around 53% of Indian women, they are anemic. 53%. Anemic, you can also write like this. And sometimes they insert one A as well. They also write anemic like this. So more than half of Indian women are anemic. And then this is your first point. So now we are trying to relate microfinancing of women SHG with malnutrition. So there's an initiative which is known as Mission Shakti of Odisha government. Which mission? Mission Shakti of Odisha government. And it has played a crucial role in improving socioeconomic indicators. And in that socioeconomic indicators, nutritional security is also one of the aspects of tribal women. So Mission Shakti, if you have prepared for prelims, you do know PVTGs, maximum PVTGs we have in Odisha, particularly vulnerable tribal groups. So this Mission Shakti is also launched for the tribal women and the SHGs in which they are dealing with. And this Mission Shakti has played a crucial role in improving socioeconomic indicators, including nutritional security of tribal women by financial empowerment of women SHG. So this is your first point where you have talked about the malnutrition part. Then the second point you can talk about is, remember, you have to explain with examples. So whenever you're writing any point, you have to give some example. So your second point in this first heading can be that microfinancing of women SHG played a crucial role in promoting women entrepreneurship. So here you're talking about entrepreneurship. And again, try to remember some example. Women entrepreneurship, thereby taking steps towards gender equality along with addressing poverty. See, remember, most of the people when they see women SHG, the first name which will come in their mind is Kudumbashree. That's fine. Everybody, almost everybody who is seriously preparing for UPSC, they remember Kudumbashree. But it's awesome. It's good actually if you can also talk about Lijjat Papad. Jeevika is also there, one initiative which is there in Bihar. Jeevika, Lijjat Papad. So when second point, we were talking about women entrepreneurship. So you can here give example of Lijjat Papad. That Lijjat Papad started in 1959. 7 women were there. Only 80 rupees they had. Now they have a turnover of 1600 crores and they're providing employment to 45,000 women. So the question is talking about women SHG and we are dealing with women particularly, right? So here, Lijjat Papad, you can give this example, thereby proving that it promotes women entrepreneurship. When you are providing microfinancing to women SHGs, it leads to like what is it leading to? It is leading to their like gender inequality we are addressing here because we are providing them jobs. So this point is very important. You can talk about it. Then the third point in the first heading we are talking about, you can talk about community-based development. That when you are giving microfinancing to women SHG, it promotes community-based development. What is the meaning of community-based development? What you can talk about here when you're talking about community-based development. So Lijjat Papad we have just seen. So now here you can, in community-based development, you can give example of Kudumbashree. That when you are promoting or when women SHG is promoting, just a second, man. Community-based development, so they are furthering gender inequality, means equality, not inequality. They're furthering, that means they're taking forward the concept of gender equality. So here, Kudumbashree, they do not have one single initiative. They are so popular in Kerala that they have various initiatives like Kudumbashree Cafe, Kudumbashree Old Age Care. So all these things are there, and thereby they are promoting community-based development. So which in turn is helping break the shackles of gender inequality, poverty, and malnutrition. You have to always relate with the question, what the question is asking. The fourth point, which you can give in the first heading, is that microfinancing of women SHG provides crucial non-farm employment. That is very important. When we read inclusive growth in GS paper 3, so we keep on talking about that 50% of India's population is involved in agriculture, etc., etc. And there is so much disguised unemployment. There are different types of unemployment: disguised, structural, cyclical, underemployment. All these you need to know. So we need to have non-farm employment, and that is being provided when we are giving microfinancing to women SHG. And this helps us in breaking the shackles of poverty. Example, Jeevika in Bihar. Then you have Deendayal Antyodaya Yojana, NRLM, National Rural Livelihood Missions. So you can give this example. Most of the people will write some of these points, but they will not write the second part. It's not like you can give any money to women SHG. There is an issue of NPA there as well, non-performing asset. So YH Malegam sir, what he said. So YH Malegam sir, he said that MFI, who are MFI? Microfinance institutions, MFI, who are basically providing loan to women SHGs, they should only be, and I'm just giving you the statement of YH Malegam Committee, they said that MFI should only be allowed to give loans to people as members of SHG and not as mere individuals. So if you are a member of SHG, you'll be getting loans. If you disassociate yourself from that SHG, then the loan has to be taken back from you as soon as possible. And this was told by him to minimize NPA issues. So we see that there are some issues in microfinancing of women SHG. But barring, now here you will write the conclusion. So what is the conclusion? You can say that, hence barring few exception, microfinancing of women SHG has played and will continue to play a crucial role in trying to break the vicious cycle of gender inequality, poverty, and malnutrition, thereby helping us in achieving the objectives of SDG 1, 2, and 5. So do talk about these three SDGs, SDG 1, 2, and 5. I think that's it, man. If you're able to write this much, or even 50, 60, 70% of this much, that would be good. Again, very easy for me to frame an answer right now, but the situation in exam is totally different. Fine, man. So that's it. In the next video, we'll talk about question number 9. Take care, be blessed. Bye-bye.